Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langede Giriyat Kripatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Deenadaranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyamishram Umatnyanandibirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamin Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunivadi Pachatya Deshadarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Prabhuji, audible?
Yes, Mataji, audible, Mataji.
Chandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
So, shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes,
before
Mataji.
that, yes, before that we will welcome Sevaya Prabhuji enthusiastically chanting Harinama Kirtan. Please unmute and chant. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.
Welcome Prabhuji, welcome Prabhu. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So,
Yes, Mataji,
okay.
You can start.
Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Kando 5, chapter 1, sloka 33. Sharo dekshura soda suroda khyado dekshiro dadadi mandoda shuddhodaha sapta jalayadayaha sapta deepa parikham Ivabhyandara Dvipa Samana Ekaika Shena Yadhanupurvam Satta Swabi Behirdipeshu Pridak Parida Upakalpidasteshu Jambadishu Behishmadi Padi Ranug Pradatmanajani Dedramajni Hayatnya Bahu Hiranyaredo Krida Prishtameda Didividi Hotra Samjan Yada Sange Naiga Kasmi Negamevaadipadim Vidade Charo de Churasoda Suroda Krida Dakshiro Dadimando the Shuddhodaha Sapta Jadadayaha Sapta Diva Parikha Ivabhyandara Diva Samana Ekaikashyena Yadanupurvam Sapta Sabi Behirdiveshu Pradak Parida Upakalpidas Teshu Jambadishu Behirshmadi Padi Ranu Bradatma Atmana Janatni Redi Juhvayatnya Bahu Hiranyaredo Krida Prishtamedha Didi Vidi Hotra Samjan Yada Samge Naiga Asminnega Evadipadi Midade. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The 7 oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaja Priyavrata, the husband of Queen Bhagishmati, gave sovereignly over these islands to his respective sons, namely Nidra, Itmahija, Yajnabhanu, Hiranya-reda, Kritaprishta, Medadidi, and Vidhihotra. Thus they all became kings by the order of their father. Translation one more. The 7 oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaja Priyavrata, the husband of Queen Brahmadi, gave sovereignty over these islands to his respective sons, namely Nindran, Idwajuhan, Yajnabahu, Hiranyaredas, Sudapristan, Medadidi, Vidihotran. Thus, they all became kings by the order of their father. Purport. It is to be understood that all the Deepas or islands are surrounded by different types of oceans, and it is said herein that the breadth of each ocean is the same as that of the island it surrounds. The length of the ocean, however, cannot equal the length of the islands. According to Virara Gava Acharya, the breadth of the first island is 100,000 yojanas. 1 yojana equal 8 miles, and therefore the breadth of the first island is calculated to be 800,000 miles. The water surrounding it must have the same breadth, but its length must be different. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you all. My humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. And thank you for giving this opportunity. And I pray that whatever I understand, I can share with you. And it's a very, very technical purpose, translation purpose from now onwards. We have been discussing about how Priyavrata Maharaj accepted the kingdom based on the request, even though he was very spiritually elevated. He was very reluctant to take up the post of the king because the kingdom was not having any king. The position was vacant. His father, Swayambhu Manu, he requested him to accept, and still more than that, Lord Brahma also requested, telling that your spiritual life will not be affected. Please take up the position as a king. So then Priyavrata Maharaj actually accepts the request and then starts ruling the kingdom. And from verse number 22 to 35, today we are discussing from verse number 33. So 22 to 35 actually is about the subject, Priyavrata's rule and his descendants, and what are about his wonderful activities. So maybe the previous classes you might have read already, how Priyavrata Maharaj actually was following the sun. So Priyavrata Maharaj, we know that from the earlier verses, he became dissatisfied with the movement of sun god around the Mount Sumeru, because only half of the side is lit and other half remained dark. So he don't want like that. So Priyavrata Maharaj, what he did, followed the orbit of the sun god on a brilliant chariot and thus fulfilled his desire of making night into day. Because of his power and yogic potency, he made the night into day by following his chariot. He could perform such wonderful activities by the dint of his worship of the Lord. This is because of his the power which he had by worshipping the Lord. Because of that, he made such an arrangement. Now we are going to discuss 31 to 33 is about same theme, which is discussing about the islands of Bhumandala. So the Bhumandala, you can see that the impression of Priyavrata's chariot wheels created 7 islands and 7 oceans on the Bhumandala. If you see Bhumandala, it is like a disc. So I will share the presentation so that if you see the picture, maybe we can understand. And these 7 sons, he given each one son, one island for ruling. So that was Maharaj Priyavrata's plan, and he did like that. So I will share this one. You can see this one. So this is the Bhumandala. You can see here, like the whole lotus flower, the 14 planetary systems are there. I will actually. We are able to see the 14 planetary system. Here, the Bhumandala is like a disk. So in the disk, you can see, here we can see all this. The disk, if you see from the top. Okay, so from the top, if you see, this is how these islands are created by actually, yeah. Here you can see King Priyavrata Maharaj. His sun is this side. His other side, he is also orbiting around, so that he wants to make the night, because only half is lit, because we know sun, only half of the planet is actually lit, right? When, like if in India it is a day, in America it is night. He don't want such a situation, so he lit up this entire universe by his yogic power. So this is the original orbit. We can see how the sun travels around the Mount Meru is the center of axis. And with that, the chariot, the sun chariot actually goes around. So half of this part is lit and half of the part remains dark. So Priyavrata Maharaj went on the other side and he lit up other sides also. And because of that, he was continuously going around. It formed actually seven islands. So, and we also discussed like what are the different kinds of, every island is having a different kind of, like one is with salt water, one is sugarcane juice, one is milk, like that. So he created, and then to his seven sons, he has actually given one island each. So we can see here Mount Sumeru is in the center, and the center one is actually Jambudvipa. The first two image which you are seeing is part of Jambudvipa. Here we can see after that Jambudvipa, we can see that the saltwater ocean is there. That is near the earth, because we are residing in Jambudvipa. So the saltwater ocean, what we are seeing here in this planet. And then there is Plakshadvipa, then there is second cycle, sugarcane juice, Salmali, like this, the seven islands goes. And there is liquor. And you can see here vertical, Sumeru mountain, how much yojanas is there, all from Bhagavatam 5th canto. Coming chapters will give more detailed description about all these dimensions, about how much 84,000 yojanas and 16,000 yojanas, Jambudvipa, what is the diameter, 0.1 million yojana. So all these things we can, this is a very detailed class was taken by His Grace Pavaneshwar Prabhu during COVID time. So we can see if we can understand kind of how our Vedic cosmology is there. So this is just for understanding. Within this Jambudvipa is this actually these divisions are there. Within Jambudvipa, here we can see Bharatavarsha. Jambudvipa, the last one at the bottom most, we can see Bharatavarsha. In that we can see Bharata Kanda is there. So one part of this Bharatavarsha is actually Bharata Kanda. So above is Kim Purusha Varsha, then Hari Varsha, like that. This is only one Jambudvipa. Like that, there are 7 islands in that Bhumandala. So this is what actually we are discussing now. And we will go to translation and purport. So the 7 oceans are actually mentioned here in this translation of this verse. One ocean is considered of saltwater ocean. Second is sugarcane juice. Third is liquor. Fourth is clarified butter. Fifth is milk. Sixth is emulsified yogurt and sweet drinking water. So all these islands are completely surrounded by this ocean, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island. So the dimension is also given here. And Maharaj Priyavrata, he gives one island to each of his sons. So how many sons he is having? Agnidhara, Itmajjva, Yajnabahu, Hiranyatreta, Grihataprishta, Medatiti, Vitihotra. Those 7. So 7 children are there. For each of them, he is giving one island. So here Prabhupada also gives some reference according to Veera Raghava Acharya. The breadth of the first island is 100,000 years. These are calculations which is explained by Srila Prabhupada in a very elaborate way. Here we can see also this whole lineage. You can see, I think in the Bhagavatam family tree, if you see. Here you can see King Nabi Rishabhadev. Here you can see Priyavrata Maharaj. You can highlight this one. Yes, you can see here. So here you have Priyavrata Maharaj. That's what we are discussing now. He had one daughter and 13 sons he had. And after the 13 sons, 3 became sannyasis. You can see here. 3 became sannyasis. 3 became manus. And 7 become the ruler of the 7 islands. That 7 island only we discussed now. And for each one, out of 13, only 7 become the rulers. 3 became manus and 3 became sannyasis. So one of the 7 is actually Agnidhara. And Agnidhara had 9 sons. And the oldest of 9 sons is actually King Nabi. This is their family. And Lord Rishabhadev is actually, you will study from the 5th chapter about Lord Rishabhadev teachings. And Rishabhadev had 100 sons. And out of that, 90 other sons are there. 9 Yogendras, Nava Yogendras are there. And Bharat Maharaj, we know, Jada Bharat. We know how he became a deer in the next life. Then from there, this descendant. So this is that whole family of King Priyavrata. And he is the son of Swayambhu. Here it is there. So that is the family tree of this dynasty. So we can, if there is further discussion on this, we can discuss. Hare Krishna. So one thing we should understand from Bhagavatam, these things we cannot see by our physical eye, but we take as the Avaroha Pantha, or the knowledge descending from the authorities through the scriptures, through the acharyas, because we cannot physically go and see all these oceans. But we know we can only see our ocean, which is salt water. But beyond this, as per the Vedic cosmology, as revealed in the Shastras, these are the different arrangements by the Lord in this universe.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu. Am I audible? Loud and clear?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this saltwater ocean is around Jambudip.
Yeah, surrounding Jambudip, yes.
Jambudip. So we are in the Jambudip part, and one division of Jambudip is Bharatavarsha.
And yes.
And among Bharatavarsha's one division,
Bharataganda
is Earth globe.
Yes.
So the salt oceans in this Earth globe cannot be that salt ocean.
Okay.
This we had discussed during that time.
Yeah.
So
that because that is very bigger. That bigger. That's very huge. Because we are in only one part.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. And generally people, they misunderstand that these 7 islands are our 7 continents, and the salt ocean is this one. No, that is not the correct. So Jambudvipa is very, very large.
Very large. Yes.
One part of Jambudvipa is Bharatavarsha, and that part of Bharatavarsha is Bharataganda, that is Earth globe, and part of Bharataganda is our Bharat Bhumi, our Indian subcontinent.
Yes.
So it is said that how come this the ocean here became salty? And
yes.
Other day Prabhu explained that also. He said that southern pole is having a lot of mysteries. Till now, no rocket or aircraft could not fly over that.
Where, Prabhu?
Southern pole.
Southern pole. Yes.
There is ice cap there, and it is told that there is vapoury connection from there to this big saltwater sea, which is around Jambudvipa.
Okay.
But through above northern pole, of course, aircraft can fly, rockets can fly. There is no problem. Aircraft can go. But till now, no aircraft could fly over southern pole. There are many mysteries.
Southern pole.
Southern pole. So what Prabhu and others said that there is a vapoury water connection, vapor connection between the ocean, which
yes,
the salt water what we see here, and the saltwater ocean around Jambudvipa.
Yes.
So that was discussed deliberately at that time, Prabhu. I remember.
Haribo.
We all were understanding that these 7 islands are our 7 continents, and this is the salt water. So at that time I had to ask questions, Prabhu, what one should understand by Bhumi, Bhumandala, Bharata, Bharatavarsha, Bharatana. Prabhu told, Prabhu, you don't understand anything. You act as if you don't know anything. After the class is over, he told you will understand everything.
Yes.
So the Bharataganda means earth globe. Bharatavarsha means
tract of land.
A tract of land which is a part of Jambudvipa. And around the Jambudvipa is this saltwater ocean. And Bharata Bhumi, earth is Bharataganda, so we are part of that, the Bharata Bhumi, what we call as Indian subcontinent.
Yes. Very good.
So this understanding should be there. Otherwise, people.
And I think, Prabhuji, there is a book also, Vedic cosmology has written, Bhagavata cosmology. Bhagavata cosmology book is there. I think it's available in through Amazon.
And in our YouTube channel it is available, number presentation, everything.
Yeah. Our presentation class, everything is available. Yes, bro.
Yeah, in Wednesday and Thursday I was there in the reading, so I had already mentioned about these things. It's a bit complicated. You would have keep your imagination open, so you can understand.
Very well. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other devotees would like to share any points on this?
Krishna Prabhuji, actually it is very difficult to remember and keep in mind when you completed the Vedic cosmology, I think. Because I tried one, for me it is very difficult.
Mataji, I think if you take that, if you buy that book, Mataji, maybe if you see that book, we can understand it more, because in book you have a lot of this drawings.
Yeah. I already draw so many things in Ganesham Prabhu's class. It was in the YouTube, I think 2 years back. But now when I am hearing, I am thinking first time I am hearing like this.
That's okay.
Anyway, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Sastri, Prabhuji, Sudarshan Prabhu was highlighting, we have to first remember the 7 big islands, which is that the 7 big islands in the ocean. And then in that one is actually one of the 7 is Jambudvipa. In that Jambudvipa, again, there is one tract of land. And in Jambudvipa, there is one tract of land called Bharatavarsha. In Bharatavarsha, there is one called Bharatakanda where Earth is situated. And in Bharatakanda, we are actually representing one
Earth globe. Yes, sir.
We are in the southernmost part of the Bharataganda, no, Prabhuji? We cannot say that.
If you see, Mataji, if you see the circle, I will just open that one again.
That I can clear, Prabhu. That like if you say take a world map, the globe map.
Yeah. So it is said actually.
Yes.
1 minute. This one, Bharata Kanda, Earth here, if you see this. Yeah. If you see, Mataji, this is the whole deep. If you take as a circle, you can see this Bharatavarsha, this one tract of land. You can see it south side. Yeah. You can see it north, south, west, east. Yes. We can say like south side.
Southern part. Yes.
Southern part. So you can see here, Bharata Kanda, Earth is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bharatavarsha is one tract of land. In that tract of land, we are actually in this one. Yes. So, Jambudvipa.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Welcome.
Very complicated structure. We have to keep our imagination open, and through the presentation, it's very easy to understand. Otherwise, we have to sit and imagine.
Yeah, somebody is interested, they can buy the book and also go in detail. Yeah.
Hareshna Prabhuji, one more thing. Actually, it is very interesting, Prabhuji, because including the Vedic cosmology, they are mentioning about the astrology, the position of all the planets, how it is related to the human being. So it is the people nowadays, they are telling, no, we are no need to check the astrology, but it's still there, no? So it is really interesting. Somebody is interested, they can read. Very nice.
It's a science, what I meant that, but you don't depend totally on astrology.
Okay. No, Prabhuji, what I am saying, because nowadays some they are telling, no, you are not supposed to believe, but it is still there. That is why you want.
Who say not supposed to believe?
Some people, they are even Hindu. Some they are telling,
Mataji, in Krishna consciousness, for certain important events, they are telling to discuss like marriage or something. You know, Guru Maharaj says, check the compatibility.
Yes.
If you are so much Krishna conscious, I attended that Grihastha course, but it is told that if you are so much Krishna conscious, you don't want to depend upon planets. You are ready to accept whatever will happen in your life. You have that confidence. You go ahead with your intuition. There is no problem.
Yeah, Prabhuji, what I mean that
Mahabharata war, the beginning of the war, Lord advised to check the Muhurta. Okay, what happened? Sahadeva was a great astrologer, and he never tells lie. Whoever asks for advice, he gives. Duryodhan came and asked, Sahadeva, please tell me the Muhurta to start the war where Kauravas can win. Sahadeva told the Muhurta, if you start at this Muhurta, you will win. Fine. Lord came to know about this. Then now, what is to be done? Now that Muhurta cannot be changed, already decided. So what Lord did? Lord summoned sun and moon and asked them what is the solution now. So they told that planets will go after their plan. It's already ordained. But now you summoned us here. So means our position got changed. So that muhurta got invalid.
Yes.
That is also one of the contributory factors for Pandavas.
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay.
when Ravana wanted to have a son who is cannot be won by others. At that time, he asked all the planets to be in the auspicious position. Then at that time, what happened? Then Shani Deva, at that time, Mandodari was about to deliver Indrajit. Shani Dev just shifted his place. And so what happened? He attacked Shani Dev, Ravana. That is why Shani Dev is limping. And one more thing he did, he took out some dirt from his body and he created his son. You know, Guliga, no? Guliga is very in his position. So Guliga was placed in such a position that Indrajit became Alpayus. He died very early. He did not live for a long time. So very young he died. Okay. So the planets, for on material factors, they have their effect. So as Prabhuji told, Muhurta, the starting time and auspicious time, they are there. Why we are taking Parna time after Ekadasi, and we are calculating the month and Purushottam, all the months, all after positions of moon, sun only. See, this atheists, they may say many things. They may say many things, and secretly they will go and check everything also. Okay, they wanted to be, they want to post themselves as modern and background. They do it. I've seen many.
Okay.
So that's a science, but Supreme Lord is beyond that science. And there is a curse on astrology also. Mother Parvati's curse is there. What happened? This science is created by Lord Kartikeya, Muruga, Guha, Skanda.
Yes.
In that he saw Shivaji's horoscope and he found he has to beg one day. So Mother Parvati could not digest. Shiva is begging. When the time came, Shiva took one of the Kabalas in his hand, he started begging. And Brahma gave him many things, many demigods, they gave many things. But with the sight of his eyes, with the sharp rays from his eyes, everything became, everything got charged, everything became Basma. Nothing existed. Then what happened? Shiva went to Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Vishnu gave Lakshmi as arm. At that time, what happened? Shiva looked, oh, it is Lakshmi Devi. No. She should be with Vishnu. Otherwise, how the activities in the world will go on. Then he stopped his begging and came back. At that time, Mother Parvati was so sorrowful that Shiva had to. But Shiva is all auspicious Mangala. He did not care. Then he cursed astrology that this will not become 100% accurate. The Vidya created by you or Kartikeya will be somewhat okay, but with the grace of the Supreme, all the inauspicious things can be changed. So, great scholars say that it's a science, it has suffered. Those who are in Bhakti Marga, if we check our chart, Brihaspati, Guru, Vyadam will be in good position. Such people only will come in Adhyatmika path. That is very true. Those who are in medical profession, their Shukran. What is Shukran known as? How you call it in English?
Venus.
Venus is for medicine. And Shukracharya was a great, Prabhu was a great, he knew the Mrita Sanjeevani. Shukracharya was the Asura Guru. He knew the Mrita Sanjeevani. Those are very brilliant people. Their Mercury, Buddha will be very good. Those who are in commanding position, high position, their son will be very good. That's the truth.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So,
Thank you.
Prabhuji told, yes, even Guru Maharaj is under. Even Prabhuji, one thing I want to say that even Guru Maharaj's horoscope with the thumb impression was taken. Mari.
Okay.
It is told that with because of his discipled sins, his life will be reduced, his health will be reduced by 20 years.
Oh.
It is there in that. I had in one of our publications. So it is a fact.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Nadia astrology that is predicted about all those who are going to take birth.
Well, in that there is a one concern is what happens whether sometimes the people who are reading the chart, they are not competent. That is main.
Correct.
Or maybe our chart also maybe not correctly written. Because of the timing.
You will get if it is the chart will not be wrong, but only interpretation.
Interpretation will be wrong.
Yeah.
Interpretation.
Qualified people is not there.
Qualified people are very less.
Yeah, very less. Means very difficult to find.
They're
Like this.
taking 10 to 15 years before reading independently. They're taking 10 to 15 years training before reading independently. In that time, about the Tamil Nadu politics, one comment was there in that they predicted a person to be in a very high position, the supreme position, and a particular word was given in that. So that word roughly translating to minister or chief minister like that. But that person, there was no chance for him. But after that coalition changed parties, they made their friendship, and that person became the speaker. The speaker is not a small position. So now they are able to interpret in a better way. That's a fact. And in the ordinary Jyotisham, if we take the time which we give, that time, if that is wrong, everything will be there. But in this Sambhamrashan Nadi Jyotisham, what happens is that if it is not correct, you will not find your leaf, palm leaf. Okay. So as devotees, Krishna is our final.
Yes, Prabhuji. We are blindly believing Krishna only, so it is better for us also.
So what happens?
He's the protector.
Yes, correct. He is taking care of all these things. In the case of Pandavas, how he changed the time, like that, he can do that for also. If you really deserve it, if you are really worthy of it.
Yes.
First deserve, then deserve. So, if our devotion service is without duplicity, definitely.
Yes.
As Jagana Prabhu always say, reciprocation. Prabhu always say that slogan. As we reciprocate, God also reciprocate. Hare Krishna. I think we can read one more slogan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. We'll go to next verse actually. It's only one line. Small, very small verse. Very small verse with translation. Yes.
One devotee can unmute and read from there.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, Manaji, please.
34. Duhitaram chorjaswadi namo shanase prayachat yasya devayani nama kavyasudha. Duhitaram chorjaswadi namo shanase prayachat yasya devayani nama kavyasudha. Translation. King Priyavrata then gave his daughter Urjaswati in marriage to Shukracharya, who begot in her a daughter named Devayani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There's no purport. We can go to next verse. So we already discussed. Priyavrata had sons already given the 7 islands. Deepas, and one daughter here. Daughter is actually married to Shukracharya, from where Devayani was born. You can go to the next verse. This is actually big, I think we can complete today this one.
We have more than 50 minutes.
Yeah, we can complete. 35.
Who is reading?
Reshna Prabhuji, Geeta Mataji want to read, I think.
Please.
Hare Krishna.
Reshna Prabhuji.
Naivam vidha purushagara urukramasya pumsam tadankri rajasajita shadgunanam chitram viduravi
വിദൂര വിഗത സകൃതാതീത എന്നാമധേയമഖില സജഹാദിബന്ധം നൈവം വിധ പുരുഷകാര ഉരുക്രമസ്യ പുംസാം തദംഘ്രിരജസാദിഷഡ്ഗുണാനാം ചിത്രം വിദൂര വിഗത സകൃതാതീത എന്നാമധേയമഖില സജഹാദിബന്ധം. Translation. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the six material worlds, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death, and he can conquer the mind and five senses. However, this is not very wonderful for a pure devotee of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of the four castes, in other words, an untouchable, is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. But Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Maharaja Parikshit about the activities of Prince Priyavrata, and since the king might have had doubts about these wonderful uncommon activities, Sukadeva Goswami reassured him. My dear king, he said, don't be doubtful about the wonderful activities of Priyavrata. For a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is possible because the Lord is also known as Urukrama. Urukrama is the name for Lord Vamanadeva, who performed the wonderful act of occupying the three worlds with three footsteps. Lord Vamanadeva requested 3 pieces of land from Maharaja Bali, and when Maharaja Bali agreed to grant them, the Lord immediately covered the entire world with 2 footsteps, and for his third step, he placed his foot upon Bali Maharaja's head. Sri Jayadeva Goswami says, Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Abhuda Vamana Padanaka Narajinda Jana Pavana Kevashatartha Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. All glories to Lord Kesava, who assumed the form of dog. O Lord of the universe, who take away everything inauspicious for the devotees. O wonderful Vamanadeva, you trickled the great demon Bali Maharaja by your steps. The water that attached the nails of your lotus feet when you pierced through the covering of the universe purifies all living entities in the form of the river Ganges. Since the Supreme Lord is all powerful, he can do things that seem wonderful for a common man. Similarly, a devotee who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord can also do wonderful things unimaginable to a common man by the grace of the dust of those lotus feet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches us to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Ainanda Tanuja Kingaram Padidam Mam Vishwe Visem Bhuvana Bhudau Bhuvam Bhudau Kripaya Bhuvam Bhudau Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stida Dhudi Sadarsham Vijindya. Sadrisham Vijindya. O son of Nanda Maharaja, I am your eternal servant, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. Lord Chaitanya teaches us to come in touch with the dust of the Lord's lotus feet, for then there will undoubtedly be all success. Because of the material body, every living entity in material existence is always disturbed by Sadguna 6 waves: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, invalidity, and death. Furthermore, another Sadguna are the mind and 5 sense organs. Not to speak of sanctified devotee, even a Chandala, an outcast who is untouchable, is immediately freed from the material bondage if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Sometimes caste Brahmanas argue that unless one changes his body, he cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. For since the present body is obtained as a result of past actions, one who has in the past acted as a Brahmana takes birth in a Brahmana family. Therefore, they contend without such Brahmanical body, one cannot be accepted as Brahmana. Herein it is said, however, that even Vidura Vidada, a Chandala, a fifth class untouchable, is freed if he utters the holy name even once. Being freed means that he immediately changes his body. Sanatana Goswami confirms this. Yes. Yada Kanjanadam Yadi Kamshyam Jasa Vidhanada Tada Diksha Vidhanena Dijatvam Jayade Nranam. When a person, even though a Chandala, is initiated by the pure devotee into chanting the holy name of the Lord, his body changes as he follows the instructions of the spiritual master. Although one cannot see how his body has changed, we must accept on the grounds of the authoritative statements of the Shastras that he changes his body. This is to be understood without arguments. This verse clearly says a Jahadi Bandha. He gives up his material bondage. The body is a symbolic representation of material bondage according to one's karma. Although sometimes we cannot see the gross body changing, chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord immediately changes the subtle body. And because the subtle body changes, the living entity is immediately freed from the material bondage. After all, changes of the gross body are conducted by the subtle body. After the destruction of the gross body, the subtle body takes the living entity from his present gross body to another. In the subtle body, the mind is predominant, and therefore, if one's mind is always absorbed in remembering the activities or the lotus feet of the Lord, he is to be understood to have already changed his present body and become purified. Therefore, it is irrefutable that a Chandala or any fallen or low-born person can become a Brahmana simply by the method of bona fide initiation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, a lot of important points are here mentioned in this translation, which is this verse. We, especially mentioning about the glories of the holy name, the glories of a devotee who was under the shelter of the lotus feet, dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, because when all these things are discussed, so Prabhupada very clearly writes, Sukadeva Goswami was discussing to Maharaj Parikshit about the uncommon activities, like when we are reading that Priyavarta Maharaj, he was actually chasing the sun. So many uncommon activities. Sometimes people may get doubt. So Sukadeva Goswami also reassuring that, see, don't be doubtful about these activities, because a devotee who has taken a shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he can do anything, which may be surprising to our vision, but he can do, because as a Lord, as a Urukrama, he has done steps, he has conquered the entire universe, and he taken Bali Maharaj also under his control on the third step. So like that, who has taken the shelter of the Lord, he can also similarly do uncommon activities. And we know the Prabhupada already demonstrated that in his own life. Within the span of 10 years, he established 108 temples, and 14 times he was circled around the globe at the advanced age of 70, which a normal human being cannot perform at that age. But that is normally people retire and take rest. But at that time, he made a revolution in the world by establishing International Society for Krishna Consciousness, because he was under the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that is the main point here. And second point is, here you can see the influence of 6 material waves. So we know the 6 senses, that 5 Jnanendriyas and mind, that we all know. But here there's one important thing, that Jivatma is actually constantly tossed by the 6 material waves. Namely, like, see, we are always, when there is hunger, it's unbearable for us. And when there is thirst, if there is no water, we feel very, very difficult, especially in the summer when we are going out and there is no water, you get most like too much painful for us. So these are the 6 material waves we have to remember. Apart from the 6 senses, we have to remember this hunger, thirst, and lamentation. Our life always, there is something always to lament, either health issues or family problem or mental issues, or any, just everybody has some kind of issues in their life. It's a lamentation. And we do not know what is true, what is false, the illusion. And of course, we are marching towards old age and finally death. So these are called the 6 whips. Whips means like this affect any person in this material world. So one thing we should see, we should not externally get attracted if somebody is wealthy or somebody is healthy. We should not think, oh, they are very happy. No, we have to be strongly convinced through the eyes of the Shastras that nobody in this material world can be happy, however is their material condition, because everyone is subjected to the 6 material waves. Everybody, is subjected: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. Of course, disease also there. And then the mind and 5 senses. But who has actually taken, even if he has a Chandala, means untouchable, but he is actually, if he has taken utters the holy names of Lord even once, see, that is the power of the holy name. If he is chanting even once. So this is, the Bhagavatam is stressing the glories of the holy name, how we can be protected if we are chanting the holy name of the Lord. Even it is not that only people from the 4 castes they can adopt. No, even an untouchable is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. So yesterday also we read in Namamrita that even if you chant offense with offenses also, you still be eligible for liberation. But only thing, when you chant without offense, then you get the love for God. Otherwise, we will not get with offense. We will definitely not get Krishna Prema, but liberation is always possible. So that we read yesterday in the Namamrita. That is the glories and the potency of the holy name. So that is very beautifully explained, and Prabhupada gives a reference of this this famous Geet Govind. Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana Padanaka Jarita Janapavana Keshavadutta Vamana Rupa Jai Jagishu. We are always reciting this for festivals, like if it is for Lord Ram, for Lord Narshim, they like that. So here it is glorifying about Lord Vamana Dev, how he conquered, means he cheated Bali Maharaj, tricked Bali Maharaj by telling that I want 3 feet of land, and finally conquered. And and of course he became his like his door servant, because Bali Maharaj surrendered Atmani Vedanam. So he did that. So the Lord took up very humble position as a doorkeeper in the lower planetary system, that we know that. And Prabhupada also quotes a Shishashtakam verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patita Ma Vishame Bhavam Budhav Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sitaduli Sadrisham Chintaya. Here one important thing we have to note, Prabhupada writes in the translation, O son of Nanda Maharaj, I am your eternal servant. Okay, Jivera Surupaya Nityera Krishnera Nityadas. So our role is we are eternal servant of the Lord. Yet, see, here the word is a somehow or other, because there is always a debate that where did the Jivatma fall? It fell down from this Tatata Shakti, means from the Brahmajyoti, or it fell down from spiritual world. So there are 2 categories of people keep on arguing that nobody can fall down from spiritual world. And some people say that if Brahmajyoti, the Jivatma fall, it is already fallen condition. Brahmajyoti is already fallen. So there is nothing to fall more than if you are there. So there is a debate always, where the Jiva fell down, original position of the Jiva. But Prabhupada here writes somehow or other that we cannot understand from where we fell down. That's why he did not write here that we fell down from here. Because Prabhupada said many times, many points regarding from where the Jiva fell down. Here he is writing somehow or other. We cannot understand how. But we fell down. Only we know that we fell down. But how we fell down, from where we fell down, no, somehow or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. So please pick up me from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. It's a very glorious prayer. That this is how we should pray to the Lord, that I just want to be a dust in the lotus feet. That itself is a great position. So the Acharyas say, Prabhupada in another lecture says, when the Kaliya, Lord Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, so he was dancing and his lotus feet was touching Kaliya. So the Nagapatnis, the wife of the Kaliya, they were all praying that we do not know that what good auspicious things Kaliya has done, because your lotus feet is touching his foot. So that is so great that we are not getting that opportunity. So Prabhupada says in that lecture, even if Krishna will kick us, telling that you go away, he's saying that is our great fortune. Krishna will kick us, telling you don't come to me. If he is kicking us, he's saying that is a great fortune. So that is a glory, that much the Acharyas glorify that about the lotus feet of the Lord. Even if he will kick, that is a great fortune for the devotee. So that as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. So Lord Chaitanya teaches us to come in touch with the dust of the Lord's lotus feet. For then there will be undoubtedly be all. If Krishna will kick like that also, then definitely our life will be successful, because his lotus feet has touched us. So that is the glory of the holy name, as well as glory of the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And Prabhupada writes saying that what is in the translation, it gives a little more elaborate description, that every living entity in the material essence always disturbed, not sometime, always disturbed by sadgunas, the 6 waves which we discussed: hunger, thirst, lamentation. Now we are sitting now. If you are continuing this class for another 2 hours, we cannot sit. We'll be thirsty, we'll be hungry. We cannot patiently sit also. So that is our condition. So hunger, thirst, and lamentation. And this is, we are sitting in indoor. Now, if you go for outdoor, more than half an hour, we cannot stand. Our body cannot handle. There is thirst, there is hunger. And apart from that, this is related to hunger and thirst related to body. And lamentation, illusion is related to the mind. Worries, and moha, illusion. And again, invalidity and death relates to the body. So 4 things related to the body, 2 things related to the mind. Furthermore, another Sadguna are the, we know that very famous, mind is one of the senses, prime chief senses, and the 5 Jnanendriyas, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. Not to speak of a sanctified devotee, even a Chandala. Chandala means who is coming out of the Varnashram. Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Out of these 4 castes, he is a Chandala. He is an outcast who is untouchable. Because of their activities, they are considered to be untouchable. Not because of their birth, because of their activities. Who is untouchable. He is also can be promoted. He is immediately freed from material bondage if he utters the holy name. So it is not that only certain people can chant, certain people only God will bless. No. Even a Chandala, if you chant the holy name, he will be also relieved from the material bondage. That means, you see, anybody is actually eligible to attain the lotus feet of the Lord by sincerely chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And always when Prabhupada preached, there was also caste Brahmanas, means Brahmanas born in the so-called Brahmanas born in a Brahmin family. They argue that unless one changes his body, he cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. In South India, especially when Prabhupada was in Chennai, Madras, that time it was called as Madras. So there was a lot of opposition by the caste Brahmanas that Prabhupada is just giving Diksha to all unqualified people. They are not considered to be Brahmana because they are not born in a Brahmin family. But Prabhupada writes here, they contend without such Brahminical body, one cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. But here it is said that even Vidura Vigata means a Chandala, a 5th class untouchable is freed. He utters the holy name even once. Being freed means that he is immediately changes his body. See, we should understand now how much we are very fortunate that we are every day chanting. Here they are saying that even once you chant, that is the glory and merit of holy name. But we are chanting regularly. Definitely Krishna will actually protect us. He will give us, guide us properly towards his lotus feet. And further, Srila Prabhupada also gives Sanatana Goswami as reference, where it is said that when a person, even though Chandala, is initiated by a pure devotee into chanting the holy name of the Lord, this we see that Prabhupada initiated many people all around the world. He did not consider from where their birth status or what they were doing before coming to Krishna consciousness. No. He was initiated because he was a pure devotee. He given them the Diksha. And the proof is everybody got transformed into a Vaishnava because Prabhupada's touch, Prabhupada's initiation. And this is what very clearly evident. These are not theoretical things. We can see this through Prabhupada's life itself. Although the physical body, we cannot see it is changing. The physical body remains same. Only, but the subtle body is changing. Saying as we are chanting, the software gets actually changed, subtle body. Because the subtle body is the reason for our next body. They say the face is the index of the mind. So when the subtle body is changing, then you can see the person becomes more brighter and more happier. So Prabhupada said that our devotees are very bright-faced. Bright-faced means they look very clear and very bright because they are constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. And it is also in common quote saying that face is the index of the mind. If you are happy inside, our face will automatically reflect. When you see somebody, when they are seeing the face, we are immediately telling, why are you sad today? You look very dull. And sometimes we are telling, oh, you look very enthusiastic, very happy, because that is a reflection of the stage of their mind. So when we are continuously chanting, our subtle body, the chief mind is getting changed, which is not visible immediately, but after a period of time, that will be reflected in the physical body as well. So in that way, what happens after the death, the gross body will remain here, but the subtle body is carried to the next body. So when the subtle body is actually spiritualized, then what happens? He obtains spiritual body and goes back to home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, even if he's failing in perfection, he will at least get a body which is suitable to further progress in the spiritual life from next life. So that is, Krishna is giving that guarantee that any Suchinam Srimatam Gehe. So anybody who has taken spiritual life and if he will not attain perfection, still at the next birth, he will be born in a very favorable environment where he can continue his spiritual activities from where he has left. So here it is said that therefore it is irrefutable that a Chandala or even any fallen or low-born person can become a Brahmana simply by the method of bona fide initiation. That is why we have in ISKCON, we have the initiation ceremony where we are getting initiation from a bona fide and qualified spiritual master. And by getting bona fide spiritual master, by getting initiation, when we practice the sadhana very sincerely, automatically we become very elevated stage. You can become a Brahmana simply by the method of bona fide initiation. So this is a process. By this process, we can be elevated. Even though irrelevant of whatever family we are born, our position can be changed and we can get purified by getting this, adopting this process of Diksha from the qualified spiritual master. Like in ISKCON, we have spiritual masters appointed by Srila Prabhupada. And when we are practicing sincerely and we are requesting them, then when we are qualified, automatically we are getting Diksha from the spiritual master. Hare Krishna. So any questions or doubts or any comments, devotees feel free to share that. Hare Krishna.
First we will address the questions, Prabhu, if any.
Sorry, Prabhu.
First we will address the questions. If any questions from devotees, that will be priority for questions.
Yes.
Rashmi Anup Mataji, you are here or in India?
Mataji is
Yes,
here.
Prabhu. I am here only,
Prabhu.
Has Prabhu come back? No, Prabhu has not come back.
No, they will be back on after the Dwarka trip only, Prabhu.
Okay,
Next week only.
Prabhu is joining pilgrimage. Prabhu is joining.
Yeah,
okay.
Prabhu.
Okay.
And kids also.
Kids? Oh,
yeah,
very
they are
good.
also with them. Yeah, and parents also. Everybody is there except me.
Oh, okay. Oh, no problem. You might have not got leave. Okay, no.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, I just want to emphasize that this.
So, Prabhu, this class will be continuing the next week also?
Which one? This one?
English Bhagavatam?
Yes, Prabhu. Mataji, we are around 10 people only attending every day. No, not today. You have 8.
Okay.
If it is more than 50%, then we will stop.
Actually, I saw in your message that Malayalam Bhagavatam is just for 1 day.
Malayalam Bhagavatam, they wanted to stop it because majority of devotees are going.
Yeah, most of them are traveling.
Otherwise, one of us could have continued it, but it is their desire. And even chanting session also, I was ready to start morning 3 o'clock. Then they told that most of the devotees are not there. It was fine. What I perceive is that whatever program is going on, it should go on generally. But
that's true.
This is a special program. This is mostly those who can join from workplace and homemakers, housewives, and those who are shift duties, and those who have holiday on Saturday. It's okay.
Then I'll join too whenever I'm getting time from office also. I'll try.
Even out of the 5-6 working days, I am able to join 50% of time, not more than that. But Hareshwar Mataji, Sarojita Mataji, Salananda Prabhu, Srikumar Prabhu, Ambli Mataji, Kedamari Ratna Mataji, and they all are continuing it. And Shogana
Yes,
Prabhu
yes,
is
yes.
kind enough to come Saturdays, so we have a relaxation. So let it go on. Nityam Bhagavata
Okay.
Sevaya. And
Okay.
also morning time in Kuwait. Of course, it's a bit noon time in India. It's okay. And we have Malayalam reading in the evening, no?
Yeah,
Okay.
Prabhu, this Ramayana reading is starting, no, Prabhu?
Yes, yes,
From
yes.
tomorrow. From
This
tomorrow?
time, I think when it's 16, Srimad Madaji has taken initiative this year.
Next Prabhuji, 17th Monday we are going to start at 7 p.m. Prabhuji.
Okay, first is at your house, no?
There will be option for Zoom also. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Prabhuji.
We'll publish that. We'll give the
I think
Zoom ID.
Prabhuji can post in the Bhagavatam group also, because
Correct.
6:30 class was for the reading now, Malayalam. So instead that 7 o'clock they can join for Srimad Bhagavatam Ramayana reading.
Like last year,
Mataji, then from next week onwards the class will come, no, Mataji?
There is no class.
Because the Bhagavatam will be till 7:30.
But last time we stopped, Mataji. Last year we stopped for Ramayana reading, Mataji.
Yeah,
After Ramayana completion only they
Ramayana is
started
only
with
once in
Bhagavatam.
a
Last year
month
like
in a
that.
year. Only 1 month in a year.
Ramayana once in a year only, coming, Mataji.
And Ramayana is also part of Bhagavatam only. Ramayana is also part of Bhagavatam. Okay.
Okay.
7th or 9th canto was describing about glories of Lord Sri Ramachandra. And this is especially to target devotees of Kerala, because they have the habit of observing Ramayana.
Reading the Ramayana is.
It's a chance for outreach.
Okay.
Even if 50% of devotees are not here, we can stop this also. Okay. So actually, in fact, in my policy
Let
is
them
not to
continue,
stop.
Prabhu. Whoever is there, let them join.
Correct. My policy is as far as possible not to stop anything. Like even my Bhakti Vrishas, when I was away on the Bhakti Vrisha takes 64 weeks.
Yes.
64 weeks means it's around 52 weeks is a year. 64 means more than it's 1 year 3 months.
Yes.
So when I was on holidays, I was handing over to someone like so Malayalam Sachi Prabhu or Murli Prabhu. They were continuing. And wherever it is possible to continue, we should continue.
Okay.
Like our senior devotees and many devotees are on vacation now during the summer vacation. Children, still our Friday program we are continuing. Sure, no? With available devotees. Even our Brajmandal Yatra, many are not there. Many senior devotees and many devotees are not there on Yatra. They are continuing the program. So it's always better to have the continuity.
Yes.
See, Yajna should not miss. What I requested is if your 2 devotees are there, you read this 9:30 program.
Sure.
So you
Thank you.
You all are doing it wonderfully. At least we have around 10 devotees every day. It's a great achievement every day. That is during working hours. Very good. So our time is around 10:45 now. I think devotees will have other engagements. So I think no doubts. I think we can wind up. And only one thing I request here is that we should hear with rapt attention and faith. Example is Janamaya Raja, son of Parikshit Maharaja. What happened? After Parikshit was bitten by Takshaka, Janamaya Maharaj had enmity towards snakes. Then by Sarpayatna, Sarpasatra, he brought all the snakes and all were sacrificed. Takshaka himself came. Takshaka took shelter of Indra. Then Indra also came, along with Takshaka, and they were about to be burnt. Then one Brahmana, namely Astika, advised. Then Maharaj, please stop it. Enough is enough. Then he agreed. Still, what happened? Then Maharaj has to suffer skin problem. Sarpadosham, then skin problem is happening to a person. Then to escape from that, he did Harinama Bhajanam at Guruvayur temple. Okay, Guruvayur temple. He was, and the Rishi who was explaining him about Mahabharata war once said that the elephants thrown by Bhimasena, some of them have not even come back. So then we were, how is it possible? We thrown elephant that has not come back. As he told, how is it possible one elephant fell from top and so on. So we know that if you throw something up, if it reaches, travels in orbital velocity and reaches the orbit, it will rotate around Earth. If it's thrown as fast as escape velocity, it can go to moon's attractive, like the moon's geographical space. Till that it will be falling on the moon, or it may get burned on the way. But it's Janamaya Maharaja was almost cured of his leprosy, the skin disease. But since he did not have faith, the leprosy reappeared. Then he continued hearing Bhagavatam with rapt attention. Then he got cured. Jagasashi Prabhu always says this example. How should we listen to scriptures? So may all of us be able to read, listen, meditate upon the scriptures by the mercy of all Vaishnavas, Acharyas, Maharaj, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, wishing all a blissful devotional life. Hare Krishna. Shona Prabhuji, can we wind up now?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, thank you all for your participation.
So,
and today evening there will be no Chaitanya Charitamrita class.
Yes, Prabhu. Today no Chaitanya. I will publish it, Prabhu.
Yes.
Also. So devotees requesting to express our gratitude to Shravana Prabhu by taking shelter of holy name.
Express gratitude to all the devotees who have participated.
And Prabhu is traveling this weekend. Prabhu will be away for around 1 month. Okay. So Mataji and children are already there in India. So Prabhu will be with them. And by